Out in the frozen heart of Alaska, survival isn't just a choice, it's a way of life. Along the Yukon River, families once let the world witness their struggle against the wilderness on the hit series Yukon Men. For 7 unforgettable seasons, we watched them trap, fish, hunt, and endure the kind of winters most of us couldn't imagine. No fake drama, no Hollywood polish, just raw grit and courage. But when the cameras went dark in 2017, the story didn't end. What happened to these extraordinary people? Did they leave the bush behind for city comforts? Or are they still battling the ice and river today? Stay tuned, because we're about to reveal where the stars of Yukon Men are now. To answer that, we begin with Stan Zuray, perhaps the most iconic figure of the series. Born in Massachusetts in 1950, Stan did not always seem destined for the wilderness. In the 1970s, he left behind the streets of Boston for the unforgiving Alaskan interior, first living on the Tzitna River before settling permanently in Tanana in 1973. Over the decades, he became a master trapper, fisherman, and dog musher, absorbing knowledge from Athabascan elders and shaping himself into a symbol of resilience. On Yukon Men, his quiet wisdom and survival skills defined much of the show. But when the series ended, Stan's journey was far from over. In the years after Yukon Men ended, Stan Zuray only strengthened his reputation as one of Alaska's most respected survivalists. In 2017, he co-authored his memoir, Carry On, Stan Zuray's Journey from Boston Greaser to Alaskan Homesteader, a powerful reflection on how a man raised in the streets of Boston transformed into a rugged frontiersman in Tanana. Beyond writing, Stan also launched the Rapids Research Center, a project dedicated to studying salmon populations along the Yukon River. His research addressed the alarming decline of Chinook salmon, a species that is not only vital to Alaska's ecosystem, but also to its cultural identity and subsistence way of life. His leadership and voice became even more prominent in December 2022, when Governor Mike Dunleavy appointed him to the State Board of Fisheries, one of the most influential positions in Alaska, overseeing commercial sport and subsistence fishing policy. Even in his 70s, Stan proved that slowing down was never an option. In 2023, his family retired their long-running fish wheel after decades of use, and in the same year he became the subject of The Stan Project, a documentary highlighting his journey from a troubled youth in Boston to one of the Yukon's most respected figures. Today, in 2025, he remains in Tanana, still living off the land, mentoring youth, and proudly supporting his family, including celebrating his son Joey's podium finish at the Yukon 800 boat race. While Stan was the veteran, James Roberts carried himself with steady, quiet determination. On the show, he was the dependable lumber provider, often seen with his teenage sons and sled dogs. When logging for a new road threatened his livelihood, James adapted by purchasing a portable sawmill, continuing to supply the village with much-needed wood. Even now, years later, he is remembered as Tanana's reliable firewood man and dog musher, a teacher of survival skills for the next generation. The future, though, rests with Joey Zuray, Stan's only son. Fans remember his early mistakes, like attempting to navigate a leaky boat during ice breakup, but Joey matured into a skilled hunter, trapper, and racer. In 2019, he married Samantha by the Yukon River. With their daughter Renee, born in 2022, and another child expected by the end of 2025, Joey continues the Zuray legacy. He runs trap lines, raises sled dogs, and competes in the Yukon 800, while his sister Kate keeps the mushing tradition alive. Joey stands as the bridge between generations, proof that Tanana's traditions remain unbroken. Not every familiar face was a central cast member, but some left an unforgettable mark. Lance Mackey, a legendary dog musher, was one such figure. Born in Anchorage and descended from a family of mushers, Lance achieved what no one else had before. He won the Iditarod 4 years in a row, claimed the Yukon Quest multiple times, and remains the only musher to win both races in the same year, achieving this feat twice. His appearances on Yukon Men reminded viewers of the deep connection between dog mushing and Alaskan identity. Yet behind the victories, Lance faced struggles, battling cancer, enduring personal loss, and raising his children while maintaining his kennel. His passing in September 2022 at the age of just 52 was a tragedy that rippled through the entire mushing community. For many fans, his presence on the show remains a powerful symbol of strength, determination, and the unbreakable bond between humans and their dogs. Another cornerstone of the series was Charlie Wright, a man who embodied both tradition and leadership. Born in Fairbanks in 1968, Charlie grew up close to the land and never strayed far. On the show, he was a trapper, a mechanic, a hunter, and the operator of the village water plant. Off camera, his role only grew. Charlie became secretary-treasurer of the Tanana Chiefs Conference and commissioner with the Yukon River Intertribal Fish Commission, fighting tirelessly to protect salmon populations and safeguard subsistence rights. He warned about the disappearance of fish camps and the cultural loss it could create for younger generations. Yet despite his official responsibilities, Charlie still hunted, trapped, and supported his community. With his wife Cheryl, he raised 4 children: Robert Bob Wright, Samantha, now married to Joey Zuray, Geneva, and Tanisha. As of 2025, Charlie continues to balance his leadership duties with family life, living as both a community elder and a humble provider. Charlie's son Bob Wright represents the new generation of Tanana residents learning to navigate 2 worlds. As a young man on Yukon Men, Bob often trapped alongside Joey. Today, he works for Dune Drilling Incorporated, an Alaskan native oil field company, while still returning home to trap, hunt, and race riverboats. He proves that you can earn a living in the modern economy while keeping the traditions of your ancestors alive. Bob's balance between wage work and subsistence is an example of how the culture of Tanana adapts, survives, and endures. The Moore family also played a central role in the series. Their story a mix of triumph and tragedy. Pat Moore, the patriarch, was the elder musher of Tanana. Even in his later years, he remained deeply committed to his dogs and his community. Life, however, brought heavy trials. He lost his wife Lorraine after 44 years together, battled health issues, and saw salmon runs decline. Still, Pat never surrendered. He gardened, mentored younger mushers, and even reinvented himself as a musician, performing with his band, the Backstreet Social Club, at community events in Fairbanks, Esther, and his hometown. In 2025, Pat Moore remains a symbol of resilience and tradition, raising sled dogs and passing on knowledge to the next generation. His wife, Lorraine Moore, was the family's heart. During the run of the show, she suffered a brain aneurysm and arthritis, conditions that left her dependent on her family's care. In time, she also developed dementia and eventually moved to assisted living in Anchorage. Reports suggest she has since passed away, but her legacy as the pillar of the Moore family endures. Their daughter, Courtney Agnes, is one of the most dynamic figures to emerge from the series. A wife, mother, artist, hunter, public speaker, and motivational figure, Courtney embodies strength and versatility. Living with her husband Archie and their 2 daughters, Cuppy and Carrie, she continues to hunt, fish, and mush dogs while sharing glimpses of her life online. She sews and beads intricate patterns, though she insists it is a family passion rather than a business. Most importantly, she is teaching her daughters to mush and trap, ensuring the culture continues through the next generation. Courtney's voice, both in Tanana and beyond, stands as a powerful reminder that tradition is not bound by gender and that resilience is as much about spirit as it is about skill. Completing the family circle is Nations Jordan, Courtney's cousin, who returned to Tanana after time away in the city. Now married to April Foulier, Nations has embraced the old ways, running his trapline, mushing dogs, and raising his family in the village. He credits the elders for guiding him back to this path, showing how tradition can be reclaimed and passed on. Yet with all these enduring stories, fans still wonder, why did Yukon Men end? The reality series aired from 2012 to 2017, spanning 7 seasons. Ultimately, it was canceled due to declining ratings and some complaints about staged drama in later episodes. But while the cameras left, the stars never abandoned their lives. They remain in Alaska, still hunting, fishing, trapping, and mushing. Some balance modern jobs with old traditions. Others dedicate themselves fully to subsistence. All of them, in their own way, continue to embody the spirit of Tanana, and so, the story of Yukon Men didn't end with the final episode. It still lives on in the cabins, trap lines, fish camps, and riverboats of the Yukon. Stan Zuray, James Roberts, Joey Zuray, Lance Mackey, Charlie Wright, Bob Wright, Pat Moore, Courtney Agnes, and Nations Jordan show us that survival is more than enduring the cold. It's about culture, family, and carrying on against all odds. Even without the cameras, their lives continue, quietly, proudly, and with unshakable resilience. So what do you think? Should Yukon Men make a return? Let us know in the comments. Hit like, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories. Thanks for watching.